together, and they stuck together in the 62 to a half.
在一起。
A half. So, when you say that, yeah, I think it took a lot of, I see them going and saying about speed. Well, they probably illegally impeached me in the sense that if you look at the FBI today with what happened, the horrible things, nobody cares about that now because all they're thinking about is the virus, and that's okay with me. But the report that came out from IG Horowitz, it's disgraceful what went on. It's disgraceful. It's a total disgrace. They got caught in the act. But you know what? We won't talk about that now. Did it divert my attention? I think I'm getting A+ for the way I handled myself during a phony impeachment. Okay? It was a hoax. But certainly, I guess I thought of it. And I think I probably acted. I don't think I would have done any better had I not been impeached. Okay? And I think that's a great tribute to something. Maybe it's a tribute to me. I don't think I would have acted any differently, or I don't think I would have acted any faster. But the Democrats, their whole life, their whole being, their whole existence was to try and get me out of office if they can, even if it was a phony deal. And it was a phony deal, and it turned out, and all you have to look today at the FBI reports. Take a look at what the FBI did. Take a look at the people. Take a look at Comey's report. 78 pages of. Take a look at that. Take a look at the report on McCabe. Just read it, and you'll see how horrible it was. And you know what? This country's going to take it. You want to know the truth?
How did it take you out of
What guidance are you offering to Florida when it comes to the two Holland American cruise ships that are seeking to dock here?
Yeah, well, I'll be speaking. I'm going to be speaking. In fact, he has a call in to me. We'll be speaking to the governor, and we'll be speaking to him soon. But there's a case. We have two ships. There are people that are sick of, and we don't want to be like they're going to be ghost ships. People turn their ships away. There was a ship, as you know, in a certain part of Asia, and from port to port, nobody would take it. In the meantime, you have people that are dying on the ship, or at least very sick, but they're dying on the ship. So I'm gonna do one of these. Are two big ships, and they have a lot of very sick people. And I'll be speaking to the governor. Let's do just a couple of more back here. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, please. You ever run out of questions? It's the most unbelievable thing. You go through the room, but I have nothing else to do. So if you want to, should we keep it going, John? I think so.
For me, please. Andrew Cuomo today said that the system that you have where governors are trying to get ventilators, it's like being on eBay with 50 other states bidding on a ventilator plus FEMA. And then you just said tonight,
he was complaining? Say it. What did he say exactly? What did he say?
He said that when you have states competing for ventilators in medical care, it's like being on eBay with 50 other states bidding on a ventilator.
Well, he shouldn't be complaining because we gave him a lot of ventilators. And if you take a look at the chart, it's down. I wish he got going a little bit sooner. But we gave him a lot of ventilators. And you know what? He has a lot of ventilators. The problem is with some people, no matter what you give, it's never enough. It's never enough. Like they'll say, how's Trump doing? And you're a Democrat. Some of them said really good. I'll tell you, Gavin Newsom from California, who's doing a good job, by the way. And others said really good. But, generally your natural reflex, how's Trump doing? You ask that question to a Democrat. We don't like it. Oh, really? You don't like it? We're getting very high marks, but I'm not doing this for marks. I'm doing this to save lives. When John John saw the numbers and when Jim saw those numbers, they're shocking numbers. You're talking about deaths. Even at the low end, you were shocked when you see 100 and 120,000 and 200,000 people over potentially a very short period of time. I want to save lives. I'm not doing this for any other reason. I want to save lives. But the governor of New York's gotten, I think maybe probably gotten more than anybody. He's gotten 4 hospitals. He's gotten 4 medical tents. He's gotten a ship, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before, other than Los Angeles, which has the twin. We've done a lot. But many ventilators were
我
sent
们
to New
做这
York.
么多，
And Mayor de Blasio, I'm getting along with Mayor de Blasio great, and I think he's very
还
happy
有
with the
没
job
有
we're doing too.
市
We're
长的
sending a lot
Blasio
of, actually, Mayor de Blasio had an interesting request. He wanted people, and we're sending medical
想
people.
要
You know, a lot of people, a lot of
想要
the
医
states
生
aren't having a problem with ventilators, they're having a problem getting medical people.
他们
And we're
还
sending
有
a
不
lot
光
of
是
people
呼
in,
吸机问题，
military,
还有
very talented people.
医生。
Who didn't go? Go ahead, and then I'll do your second.
Your response
You
to that
mentioned
question
Gavin
was,
Newsom.
your response to that question earlier was that they shouldn't be doing that. They need something, will, if they need them
They
that
should be
day,
doing what?
they shouldn't be, the governor shouldn't be competing with each other.
No, they shouldn't be competing, and they should call us. Wait,
Zhang
no, I don't want them
不应该
to compete because all they're going to do is drive up the price. I don't want them to
我
compete.
不想让
They
他
should
们
be calling
抢，
us, and we can work it so they get the
应该
ventilators and they get
跟
shipped
我们
directly.
讲，
If they're competing, if they're calling,
我
even
们
if
直
there's
接
only two
发
of them
出
calling,
去。
they're going to just drive up the price because as nice as some of the people that do ventilators, they do want to make money. Okay. Now, you know,
有
New York had
的
a chance to
做
buy
呼吸机
16,000
的人只
ventilators.
想
I
赚
guess they
钱，
didn't take that option. That was in 2016. And that's a hard option to take because it's a lot of money. And who would ever think you need 16,000 ventilators? Who would
有
ever think
人
it
谁会
But
想
this is a
到
very
会
unique
做
time
这么
in,
多呼吸机？
in life? And I think, you know, I'm dealing with New York and we're having a
这个
very good relationship. And you see what just
管
happened in
纽约
Central
我
Park
管
with the
得
tents.
蛮
I mean,
好
we're，having a really good relationship. Go ahead. You didn't get one and then we'll go to
Thank you,
you.
Mr.
Thank you.
President.
Gavin Newsom, you mentioned Gavin Newsom and the job that
Yes.
he's doing. I'm interested in what you think
讲到
California has
Gavin
done
Newsom
to contribute to the suppression of the
Well, they've done a good
你
job,
觉得
California.
加
Now let's see
州
what happens
怎么
because
样？
we could have a
我觉
spike,
得
doctors. I mean, you
他
don't
们
know.
蛮
They
好，
could have a spike where all of a sudden it spikes upward.
也不
We had
知
a
道
couple
接
like
下来会
Louisiana. I
怎
think they're doing a really
么
good job,
样
but。they had nothing. Now they had
像
Mardi Gras, and then
Louisiana
all of a sudden
也
after
蛮
Mardi
好。
Gras, which tells you about distancing, I guess. I mean, it's an example of what could happen, but they
又
were
回
like
到这个
flawless. I was always
distancing。
surprised. I was looking at Louisiana, and I understand that state. I love
我
that
看
state. And I'm
Louisiana
saying they're in great shape.
我
Then they have
很
Mardi
欢
Gras. It was a
喜
big success,
Louisiana
tremendous success, and then all of a sudden, it
很
went like a
成
rocket
功，
ship. So that tells you about distancing. Please.
结果
Are you
现在
concerned, though,
又
about
多
the
了。
homeless population in California?
就
Because
讲
I
到
know
distancing
California
很
officials
关键，
think that it could spread
呃
like
讲到
wildfire. Obviously, there's
Say it again.
加
louder.
州
there's a
的
homelessness crisis in
流
California.
浪
They're obviously concerned that
流
it
浪
could
汉
spread like wildfire in that community. So is there anything the
会不
administration
Well,
会
they're looking at that
传
very
这个
strongly,
病
and？I know that it bothers
我
Gavin.
们
I
再
don't know if it
看这
bothers
个
Nancy
问题，
Pelosi, but she's got it in her district at a very high level. They have
不
to be
知道
very
Nancy
careful. They have a
Pelosi
very
担
big
不担
homeless
心，Gavin
population
州
in
长
an
很
area
担
which
心
just a。few years ago didn't have anybody in those areas, and they're living in the streets, and I know that some
街
people
上
in
都是
California
流
are
浪
working
汉。
on that very hard.
Mr. President, you
我
served
知道
several
加
times
州
with
有人
Prime
在
Minister
管这
Trudeau,
个，
President Macron, and at the end of last week,
和
President Macron talked about an
法
important
国、加
initiative
拿
that
大
you and him would launch. Any news on that?
No, we're talking about something that will be very positive for the world if we do it.
我
We'll see
和
if we do it or not.
Well,
Well, I
他
don't
们
want to talk.
在
It's a private
讨
thing,
论。
but it will
我
become
不想
public if we
讲这
decide to
个
do it.
比
But
较
positive.
私
Our
人，
relationship with the president, our relationship with France, is, you know, I
我
think
们和
extraordinary,
法
very good,
国
probably as good as it's ever been.
关系很好。
Get back to your comments about what could have happened and the actions that you took. Is there any fairness to the criticism that you may have
讲到
lulled Americans into a
算
false
出
sense
来
of
的这
security
些，
when you were saying things like it's going to
你
go
有没
away
有
and that sort of thing? But
算
Jim,
的
it's
太
going-
But when you were
安
saying
It's going to
全？
go away, hopefully at the end of the month, and if not, it hopefully will
我
be soon
希
after
望
that.
这个可以走
hasn't
开
your。
going-
thinking on this
Jim, it is
evolved?
going away.
Hasn't your thinking on this evolved? You're taking it more seriously now.
I
你的
think from the
想法有没
beginning,
有
my attitude
变？
was that we have to give
我
this
开
country.
始
I
的
know how
态
bad it was. All you have
度
to，do is look at what was going on in China. It
我
was
知道这个不
devastation.
好。
And
看
yeah,
看
look at the
中国。
numbers from China. Those initial numbers coming out from China. But you know, I read an article today which was very
我
interesting.
看到
They say we
一
wish
篇
President
文
Trump
章，
would give more bad news. Give bad news.
希望
I'm not about bad news. I
Trump
want to give
给
people
更
hope.
多
I want
坏
to give
新
people
闻。
a feeling
我
that
想给
we all
大
have a
家
chance. I
希
mean,
望，
when you saw the numbers, and when John and all of you saw those numbers,
机会
and you're saying 120,000 people, you mean that's good? 100,000 dead people within a short period of time.
你看到这个
people-
100
feeling of hope. I could be very negative. I could say, wait a minute, those numbers are terrible. This is going to be horrible. This is a horrible thing. Hey, Jim.
Last month and said, okay, let's go to the
这
beach,
个
let's
事
go to the
情不
airport,
管怎么
let's
样
go down to
不
Mardi
好，
Gras.
Well, there were a lot
Let's
of
go
people.
do
There were a
those
lot of
things.
people that could have said that. We didn't say that. Fortunately, I didn't say that, and that was an alternative. We talked about it. That was always an alternative. That's what I said.
我
Let
没
it
有
whip, let it ride, do nothing,
呃，
and we
我
could have
没
had
有
2.2 million
不
dead
管
people, more than that, because
不
I didn't
管
do
的
that.
话，
And we did catch it early, and we stopped
200
China
万
really early, and we stopped Europe really
我
early
们
because I
很
saw
早
what was
停
happening.
中国，停
What
欧
happened is
洲
I，stopped Italy because Italy was really heavily infected. We started off
还
with
有
certain
意大
parts of
利。
Italy, then all of Italy, then we saw Spain. Then I said, stop Europe.
为
Let's stop Europe. We have to stop them
整
from
个
coming
欧
here.
洲，
Europe. I love Europe. But they were having problems.
我很
I don't think
欢
anybody
喜
did a
欧
better
洲。
job than that, especially when you see the
我觉
2.2
得没有
million
人可
number.
以这样做
And I hope we're
的。
going to be substantially under the numbers that you're looking at on the minimum side.
我
Then I think we
希
will
望
have, hey, look, it's still tremendous death.
比这个算出来的最小
I want to
的
be
数
positive.
还
I
要
don't want to
小
be。negative. I'm a
我
positive
想
person. Somebody said, oh, I wish you'd be more negative. They literally have that. It's in one
我
of the
想好的
wonderful
新闻
newspapers
多一
today.
点。
I wish you'd be more negative. Well, this is really easy to be negative about. But I want to give people hope too. You know, I'm a cheerleader for the country.
我想
We're
给
going through
大
the
家
worst thing
点
that the country's
希望。
probably ever seen. Look, we
这
had
可能是我
the
们
Civil
见
War. We
过
lost
最
600,000
坏
people.
的
Right? Here's the thing: had we not done
之
anything, we would
前
have lost many times that. But we did something, and so it's
打
going to
仗
be
也没有
hopefully way under that. But you know, we lose more here potentially than you lose in world wars as
可
a
能
country.
比之前
So
打
there's
仗还
nothing
要
positive. There's
死
nothing
的
great
还
about
要
it. But
多，
I want to give people in
没
this
有什
country
么
hope.
好的。我只
I think
想
it's
给
very
大
important.
家
This
一
severe
点
when you
希
were
望。
saying this was
I
under
thought it could be.
control and
I knew everything. I knew it could be horrible, and I knew it could be maybe good. Don't forget, at that time, people didn't know that much about it. Even the
我
experts, we were talking about it. We
明
didn't know
白
where it was，
很
going.
早我
We saw
就
China,
在
but that
看
was
这
it.
个。
Maybe it would have stopped at China. We wish we could have killed it in China, but it didn't happen. It
我
started
们
spreading to Europe. It started spreading
希
here.
望
It
不
started
要
spreading all over.
传从中国
And I'm
出
not
来。
blaming anybody. I'm just saying that
我不
we have an
怪
incredible thing. I think the people,
不
our
怪别人，
professionals, our military, our governors,
我的
our
军队
politicians, I think they've done an incredible
the-
job. I mean, with few exceptions, I think they've done an incredible job. But I don't want to be a negative person. It'd be
医生
so much easier for me to come
大
up and say,
家
we have
都
bad
做得
news.
蛮好
We're going to lose，
有些人
220,000
除
people.
外。
And it's going to happen over the next few weeks. And with that, I did start off
下
by
几
saying
个礼
today,
拜
long before this question, I said, this is
几
going to be a rough 2 or 3 weeks. This is going to be one of the roughest 2 or 3
这
weeks we've ever
几
had
个
in
礼
our
拜
country.
会
We're
很
going to
难，
lose thousands of people. When I see 28, 29
会
people
死几千
from
个
the
人。
governor of New Jersey, 29 people. When you see 173 people died in New York yesterday, or whatever the number was, I think it was more than that. When you see the kind of
纽
numbers that
约
we're
昨
witnessing,
天
we've never
死
seen numbers
几
like that.
100多个人，
So it's easy to be
从
negative,
来没有见
and
过
then。everybody can be negative. But I'm a cheerleader for our country, and I
我
want to
一
do a great
旦
job. So the
这
number
样
can be，
大
kept.
家都
And I've
没有
always said
希
it.
望。
I want as few a number of people to die as possible, and that's all we're working on.
我想
you don't like the question, but are you now taking
I don't mind the
responsibility?
question.
少
Do you mi-
I don't mind your
Are you-
question.
are
I
you
think
now
I think
taking
it's actually
responsibility
I
for
think
how
it's
things go
not
from
meant
this
to be.
point?
Look, I know you well enough, so it's not meant to be a fair question, but it is a fair
我
question.
认识你，
I think we've done a fantastic job. Okay, fine.
你
I'll
的
I'll
问
accept
题
you.
还
Look, Jim,
可以。
I think we've done a great job.
就
We're going to see how it comes
我
out.
觉得我们
But when
做
you
的
look at
蛮
minimal
好。
numbers of 120,000 people,
你看看
when you look at it, could have been 2.2 million people died and more if we did nothing.
这个
If we
可
just
能
did nothing, it
是
would have gone up. It would have
200
come down.
万
As per your statement, it would have been confined. It would have been a similar time, maybe even less time.
可以
It would have been
让它
violence like we've never seen in this country
控
before.
制
We had great
我
professionals,
们可
great
能会
military,
发生
really great
很多别
governors
的
and politicians.
事情。
I cannot
那
say
么
enough
好的
about
州
what's
长
going on.
和
And as per what
军
you
队
said, I think we're way ahead of schedule in terms of numbers. I think, I hope.
我觉得我
But if
们
we can keep
在
it
我
under
们
the
的
minimum
时间
numbers,
表前面
the country has done, not me, the country has done a great job. But
国
I think
家
I've done a
都
really good
做
job
得
of
很好。
mobilizing. I think Mike Pence has been fantastic. I put him in charge of the task force. We have wonderful people on the task
Mike
force, Jim.
Pence
Wonderful
做得
people.
很好。
This man was working literally. He had days where he didn't go to bed, he didn't go to sleep. He went 24 hours
他
and then
都
started
没
the next
空
day.
睡觉，
People don't know the job he did.
你们
I didn't
不
even know he
知
was that
道
good of a manager, to be honest with you, Mike. Okay, and you never know that about
我
somebody until
都
they're
不，
tested
我
under
之前
fire.
都不知道他
But
这
he
么
saw
厉
it very
害。
early also. We both did. They saw it very early. They knew pretty soon. They
我们
probably
很
knew
早
sooner than
就
anybody
看出来，
because that's what they study. That's what they do. Must be a depressing business.
这
right?
是
Must
他
be a little
们
bit depressing, but they've
这
seen it
是
all.
他们的专
Go
业
ahead, Jim.
Can I ask Dr.
很
Fauci
让
a
人
question
伤
about a
心的
headline
专
that's been
业。
running all day to get his perspective on it? There is a professor from MIT, Dr. Fauci, who suggests that
MIT
coronavirus can be carried on
的教授
droplets a distance of 27 feet.
讲
Do you
这
buy into
个
that? And if that might be the case, does that suggest that current social distancing
都有这
guidelines
个
may need to be
病毒
extended?，
This
你
could
这个
really
social
be
distancing 的
terribly
distance
misleading,
不
John.
够，
What it was
我觉得
looking
这
at the
个
distance
不
that
太
droplets
对。
by speaking, by coughing, by sneezing.
我们
So if you
讲
go
的
way
是
back and go
这样话，
"Achoo," and go like that, you might get
像你这样
27 feet.
去，
But
你可
so
以
you
可
see
能
somebody
喷
do that,
到
get out of the way.
There are some people
But that's not
27
That is not practical, John. I'm sorry, but I was
但是有人
disturbed
可
by
以
that
这
report
样。
because that's misleading. That
我
means
觉得
that
这个
all of a
很
sudden the 6-foot thing doesn't work.
错。
That is a very, very robust, vigorous achoo sneeze. That's what that is. And that's
这
not
是一个
what
很
we're talking
厉
about.
害的一个阿丘，不是我们讲的
Go
这
ahead.
个。
How about over?
I've got a follow-up on the masks, sir, but first, you mentioned Franklin Graham. Earlier,
我想
talking to
问
him.
这个
As you know,
口
his
罩，
father, Billy Graham, was a trusted spiritual advisor and friend to many presidents. A lot of your predecessors in times of national emergency reached out to pastors and other
你
spiritual
之前的
counselors.
人
Have you done that during this national
还
Well, I
有
never say that, but Franklin
会去
Graham is
找
somebody
牧
that's very
师，
special. I have many very special people, and very many special in the evangelical Christian community. You could talk
基督教
rabbis.
的
You could talk a lot of. I have tremendous
也可以
support
找
from religious
rabbi
leaders, and Franklin
我
Graham. I
很
just spoke to
多
him today
支
for an
持
extended
的
period of time. I told him what a fantastic job you're doing, and he does this.
宗
He
教的
loves doing it. He loves helping people. And he loves Jesus. That I can
这
tell
个
you. He loves
pastor
Jesus. He's a
很
great
很
gentleman.
会
Go ahead.
帮
On
助
the
人
masks, sir, on the masks, maybe for the doctors.
The what?
On the masks, is the reason why there's no CDC recommendation for the
讲
public
到
to wear
口
masks
罩
because they're
为
meant to,
什么不
to
让
save
大
and
家
preserve the
戴
masks for
口
the medical
罩？
workers, or is it because the
要
virus is
升
not
口
primarily
罩
transmitted
给
through the air?
So there was a
给医生
CDC
还
does have
是
recommendations on their website about masks
CDC
that came to the
推
task
荐
force
的
several weeks ago about
口
if you're
罩
infected wearing a
几
mask
个礼
to
拜之
protect
前
others, and if you
你
can't,
有
you're
病
working
就
with
戴
someone
口
who's
罩，
sick and you have to be that worker in the household
旁
because
边有
remember we want
人
people in the
生
household
病
being taken care of,
要
that they should
戴
wear a mask.
口罩。
I know your question is broader than that, and it's just being considered by the task force now
我明
about
白
whether that
我们
recommendation
正
that
在
already
考
exists
虑
relevant to wearing mask should be altered in any way. So it's still under
我们
discussion.
想改这个
And
推
just
荐。
about masks, you can get a mask, but you can also
讲到
do. I mean, most people have scarves, and scarves are
讲到
very
口
good,
罩，
and they can use a
可
scarf.
以自
And we're only
己
talking about a limited
用
period of
围
time. But,
围
and it says
巾，
in the recommendations you can substitute a scarf for a mask. So
可以
if people feel
用
that,
别的。
and I think
你
you
想
know, some people
要
disagree with the mask for various reasons, and some people don't. But you can wear a
有
scarf,
的
you
人
can
不
do the
同
masks
意
if it makes you
有
feel
的
better. We
人
have no
同
objection
意
to it, and some people recommend
你
it.
可以
Let's go back
Thank
at
you,
the-
这样。
Mr. President.
You people never get tired. Look at you.
你
And they're still
们
good
都
questions,
不
actually.
吃力吗？
Mr. President, again,
那么
I'm
多
looking
问
at
题。
the cases around the world in Latin America and the Middle East, and
Yeah.
still you don't want to
记
impose
者
a
讲
travel ban for these areas. In Brazil, for
南美
instance,
洲
the President
还
Bolsonaro,
有
he keeps on being very active with groups. Aren't you
巴
afraid that
西
what we're doing here can be
You
threatened
mean
by
you
what-
people? You mean you people?
Not here, but I mean the United States.
I mean, you're pretty spread out already. I don't know if anymore.
But you
I don't think
understand
we'll
what-
have press conferences anymore. But
I understand what
look,
我
we're
这样
very
子，我
careful.
们
I'm
这个
very
会
careful
也不
personally,
开
and
了。
But the travel ban
我很担
And we
心
are looking at numerous countries as they get in a position.
我们看
Brazil, as an example,
各
you
自
mentioned the
国
president.
家
Brazil had no problem until just a short time ago.
在
And now
Brazil
they're starting to get
很
inflamed. And yes, we are
之前都
absolutely
没有
looking at a
问
ban.
题，
There are
我
two other
们是
countries
在
you mentioned.
看，
Iran already has a ban. They had sort of an automatic ban in addition to that.
还有
They have a ban.
Iran
So we're looking at
之
certain
前的
countries
一个
as they
ban 又一个
become
ban，
hot.
Mr. President, you're starting a
看
new
他们
30
的
days
数字。
now. What are your plans? Are you going to stay in the White House? Are you going
记
to
者
travel at
讲
all?
这
Or
个
you
30
I doubt I'll leave.
天，
I wanted to go to
你
the
有
opening
什么计划？
of the hospital in New York.
我想去
And my people couldn't even
纽约
believe
的
it
医
that I
院，
said it. But I did. I wanted to go. They didn't want me to do it. The Secret Service didn't want me to do it.
他
For,
们不想
you know,
让
for
我
reasons. I wanted to
去，
go to the boat sailing into New York Harbor.
我
But
想
the governor
看
did a good
看
job
这
of
个
that. And the
船
mayor of New York. So, you know, I'd
看
love to go
看
out, but now I'll be in the White
市
House.
长，
And it's sort of like a
但
nerve
是
center,
我
control
会待
center.
在 White House。
And I think it's important, you know, look, you see what happened with Boris Johnson, you see what happened with others. I
你
think
看
it's
到
important
Boris
that
Johnson，
I remain
我
healthy.
觉
I
得
really
这
do.
个重要，
So
我要
for the most
健
part,
康，
we're staying here. I've canceled many different
我
events,
会基
and we'll
本
be staying
待
here for
在
the
这
most
里
part.。
Mr. President, Tom Frieden, the former director of the CDC, wrote an article the other day in which he
之前
said what's
CDC
really
的
needed here,
领导
and he understands the work that the task force is doing,
讲
is an incident commander to really take command of
讲需
where
要这
everything
个
is going and how
incident
things are being
commander。
coordinated.
We have
Is
it.
that something that could be useful in this particular instance?
We have it.
你现在
His name is Pete
觉得
Gaynor.
需要吗？
He's the administrator of
我
FEMA.
们有这
and
个
the
人
president
，Instant
signed,
Commander 叫 Pete Gaynor。
the National Emergency Declaration. He stood up
我
the
签了
National
这个
Response Center at FEMA. And now I can tell you that when the White House Coronavirus Task Force meets, I'm at
我可以
one end of
讲
the，table, and Pete Gaynor and the whole FEMA team are
我
by video
们有
conference
Pete
at the other
Gaynor
end of the table. And that's where, whether it be the air bridge that's literally bringing
这
in
个
millions of medical supplies from around the world, the thoughtful deployment of those supplies to hospitals, particularly with
还有
regard to
分
ventilators.
分这
We're
个
working very closely. HHS is fully
呼吸机啊
integrated at FEMA now. But because of the president's decision
HSS 和
to
FEMA
stand up
现在
FEMA in the
在
lead,
一起工
we
作
have。a coronavirus task force at the White House that's bringing the
我
president
们还有
the
这
very
个
best health experts and
coronavirus
recommendations from every agency.
团队，
But all the implementation, as we tell governors literally every day, is happening through FEMA. It's going down to the states through
每
FEMA,
天
and
都
state requests are coming up
到
through regional
州里面
administrators for FEMA and back to the White
每
House.
天
At
都
the same time, we have
回
4,000
我们
ventilators
消
that
息。
are parked in a warehouse in
No,
New
no,
Jersey.
you're wrong.
No, but that was the case.
记者
We
讲，
also
我们
have-
有
we-
4000 个
moved them
呼
out.
吸机。
You could have had them a long time ago, but they
Well,
didn't need them.
The question is, this happened. We also
我
have
们
people not knowing
送
about the
出去
new
了。
Abbott testing facility, or testing
大家
system.
不知道
If
这
there
个
were
新的
an
测试
incident commander who was in charge of all of that and
如
getting
果
the
有
word out,
这个 Incident
would that be
Commander，
a useful thing?
Nobody knew about the new Abbott.
这样是不是更好？
Brought to life 2 weeks ago. They just came up with it.
That's right.
It was an
我们
invention.
刚发
It was
明
just-
这个，
So nobody knew about it. Nobody knew you could even do it. They did an
没有
incredible
人
job.
可
Their
以
scientists
知道。
came up with the idea a week and a half ago. I showed it to you yesterday in a box. I don't think you could do much better than that.
我
If
昨
I may,
天
Mr.
看
President,
到
I，think
我昨天给你
Your
们
point's well
看
taken. The Abbott Laboratories point of contact
你
test was
的
approved
实
Friday.
验室，
President announced it in the Rose
礼
Garden
拜五
on Sunday. We're socializing
刚
that
批
all across the country to every governor, to laboratories
我
elsewhere.
们
And
发
I
到
have to tell you,
州
this team
还有
that the
实验
president
室
has assembled, the advisors on the White House
这个
Coronavirus Task Force,
队
and then
伍
this team at FEMA, whether it be HHS Deputy Secretary Bob Kadlec, who's coordinating all supplies, whether it be Admiral Joie, who is literally working with every
有
state
很
on a
多
county by
队
county
伍
basis to deploy
每一
testing,
个州
is
一直
impressive.
都
And,
在
and I think
工
it's given
作，
great encouragement to governors. President and I spoke to governors
给
in all the
州
states
长
and
很
territories
多
again
的
yesterday. Because governors, I
支
can
持。
tell you from my own experience as a governor, In Indiana,
我
we had
自己也
tornadoes and
之前
flooding.
是州
Governors know
长，
how to deal with FEMA.
还有很
And
多
as soon
的
as the president stood up FEMA and declared that national emergency,
只要
what
有
I'll call a certain
FEMA，
amount
我
of
们
muscle
州
memory
长
kicked
都
in
可以
in states around the country. And we're really seeing
工
a
作。
tremendous efficiency and communication, and that's how we're going to go forward. Again, the president's vision here is FEMA's vision, which is in
我们
response to a
的
health crisis, it's locally executed, state
目标
managed, federally
是
supported. And
它
I have
的
to tell
目
you,
标。
we're seeing that whole process spinning up every
我
day.
们
And I hope Americans
看
looking
到
on
这
are
个
encouraged
很快，
by that system. And I know they're hearing from governors around the
这
country
个
about
系
the
统
flow of
很
resources
快，
and testing and supplies. And
我
we'll
们的
continue to keep that.
资
What you
源
call an
和
incident command,
测试。
what we call the Federal
你
Emergency
的这
Management
个
Agency, working
Incident
24/7.
Commander
And I have to say
已
this,
经
I've had, in the last
有
less than a week, 3 governors call up
嗯
that truly have disliked
一
me over
一
the
个礼
years,
拜
even before I decided to run.
都很多州长打
And they
电
said,
话说这个
I
做
have
得
to
蛮
tell you,
好，
you've done a great job. You and your team have done a great job. These
你
are 3
的
governors
团
respected,
队做得蛮好。
very respected in 2 cases. And they
嗯
said,，
州长
like or not like,
都
you
这
and
么
your
讲
team have done an incredible job. And I think they have. I think they've done an incredible job. Go ahead, please.
有的人不太喜欢我都讲我做得蛮好。
Was there any kind of White House modeling based
要我来吧。
on be a national lockdown or some sort of guidance to every single state that they needed to have lockdowns?
好，辛苦了，不要了啊。
So all of the modelers who
所有做模型的这些人啊，
just want to thank them again.
我要感谢这些人，因为啊，
Assembled from around the globe very
把这个全球这些数据人员呢，都是很快从世界各地啊一起集结过来的。
the implications of closing the schools, having people
利用这些模型呢，我们才有做出这样的反应啊，才有这个做出要求大家关闭学校啊，保持社交距离啊，待在家里啊。
No one actually termed it a lockdown.
没人想整个
About staying in your
关
home.
闭
I
啊
think the
停止
difference
一切活动。
was, and these weren't in the models, and I think
这些所有的这个情形都在考虑到这个模型当中。
you know, I think all of us, I mean, I was overseas when this happened in Africa.
我曾经在非洲，
The China data originally
曾经这个
said, oh,
知道
there's
这个艾滋病的这个
80,000
防疫工作，
people
防御工作。
in Wuhan and
比如在武汉呢，有2000万的人口啊，这么大的人
come
口，
up with a number of 50,000.
他们
You
只
start
报道了
picking up
5万的
something like SARS, then you
虽然
do
报道了
have
5万的
a
感染人数
global，pandemic. I mean, I'll just be
当
frank,
时的话
that's
只
when
认
I
为作为
looked
非
at it,
典
I，was
但
like,
是
oh,
后来就
this is
成为了这
not,
个全球的大泛滥。
you know, if as close as those quarters are, you know, so I think the medical community made
我认为这个整个医疗的
data as
这个业界的人士呢，
serious but smaller than anyone expected, because I think probably we were missing significant amount of the data now that when we see what happened to Italy and we hate
因为对，就是因为来自中国这个缺失的这个数据啊，所以说才会出现意大利这种严重的情形。如果你感染的话，那你在家隔离的时候就一定要跟家人保持距离。对，所以我们就要求这个感染的人在家里做自我隔离。
I know you're trying to get that number even lower, but is best case scenario every state basically having lockdown behavior, not maybe actual lockdowns, but basically everyone staying in their homes. So if that's true, why not tell every state to do that?
It's everybody social distancing by 6 feet when they're outside. And that is probably absolutely the key more than anything else.
现在目前的首要任务是大家一定要遵守保持社交距离的这个指导啊和要求，这样的话才能有效的控制的病毒的传播。我从总统、副总统所讲的，我们相信我们的国民能够做到这一点，保持社交距离。如果你在外面行走的时候，一定要保持人与人之间的距离。我们相信国民会做到这一点， 所以说这其实也是一种这个关闭隔离的形式。
Nobody really knew about this virus was how contagious it was. It's so incredibly contagious.
这个病毒的传染性太强了。
This is like I don't know that anybody's ever seen anything like
我知道可能从来没有人
touch.
遇到过这种情形。
This is just like
你泼一下、摸一下，或者是就会被感染。
and I don't think any doctor knew it at the time. I don't
这我知道，在那时候可能没有医生会知道它有这么严重。
Question about ventilators. You
我要说一下这个呼吸机的问题。
states bidding against each other. The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, said that there should be a federal system where the federal government sets the price, the federal government distributes the ventilators.
这纽约州长库某建议是应该是
well, essentially
联邦系统呢应该决定这个呼吸机的价钱。
now thousands of
现在是各个州之间可能因为这个呼吸机的价格产生了意见。
thousands. We're making them. You saw yesterday where Ford is going to have a tremendous number. They're
我昨天
looking at
有了
100,000
已经
ventilators.
提供和供给了
General Electric
大量的这个呼吸机的，
General
这个数字是
Motors
很大
has
的
come a long way, I have to be honest. They're working very hard.
这个通用汽车生产了非常多的呼吸机了，已经。
You know, at the end of this, and there will be. Don't say I'm optimistic.
不要说我太过于这
I
个
wouldn't want to do that.
太乐
I
观，
am optimistic.
我
I'm a
我
very
确实很乐
optimistic
观
person.
的
Let me。tell you, we will have thousands of ventilators, and what I want to do is make sure that we all
我们有上千个
for the
呼吸
future.
机了。
But then we want to help Italy and France.
到最后呢，我们一定会帮助像意大利这样的国家，
Problems they have, 'cause ventilators are very tough to come by. They're very
因为非常拿到呼吸机是非常难买的一个资源。
Is Governor Cuomo
You
mistaken?
could go ahead. Go ahead.
Is Governor Cuomo
你认为这个纽约州长库某是错了吗？
Your interpretation of what he said. I don't know what he said.
我不知道他说了啥，我知道他是比较讲究理性的。
I think he'd like to run for president.
我想他可能以后会竞选总统的。
Circumstances, but he's been very generous to me.
他是非常慷慨的一个人，
Hospitals, I got him a lot of ththings.
因为我给他了很多东西啊，
He had pay dirt, okay? And I've been very generous on ventilators.
我给他了非常多的呼吸机，
4,000
2000、4000的都给了。
ventilators in his warehouse, in their
但是我给了他以后呢，他把它放到了自己的仓库里面，没有拿出来用。
So I'd have to hear it from him.
我一定要听他亲口说这件事情。
Do you want to? And how about one more, and we'll.
最后一个问题，我们
Don't
明
say
天
we're
再
gonna
见。
cut it short. They'll say he. That's right. It could be almost tomorrow, but you know what?
Almost tomorrow.
I'm not sure.
今天的时间非常长。
Enjoying it. No, it's a. I will say this. It's an incredibly dark topic.
这是一个非常非常黑暗的一个话题，
That's why everybody is.
所以说大家，
They're going crazy. They can't.
所以大家都有点恐慌，所以才会有
themselves.
这么多的反应。
Studying if they get it. A lot of people have it. A lot of people are positive, and they hope for the best.
很多人都感染了呀。
This gets the wrong person, meaning a person that qualifies, generally speaking, under the list. It is ravaging. It is.
如果是我们没有现在的这种执行能力和领导能力的话，这个后果比现在要严重多了。
That you're going to see a second wave.
你会看到第二波的疫情的爆发。
These stay-at-home orders, these lockdowns.
如果这个居家令或者是这个，
She answered this question. If we do, we're going to be, I think, very well prepared.
我觉得我们已经准备得非常好了。
Like the first wave.
但是第二波疫情爆发的话，我们可能一定会控制得更好，更好的准备，因为我们已经准备更好了。
With me and say, I wish you would have answered that question. Come on, doctor.
现在由福气来回答这个问题啊。
When you talk about second wave, I think you really are talking about two different things that are a little bit different.
这个第二波的疫情爆发跟第一波完全是两个不同的事情。
30 days, if we get the mitigation
如果过了30天以后，我们大大的减轻了疫情的扩散，控制了疫情，
Dr. Birx was talking about,
已经压制了这个曲线。
if we don't continue to maintain that,
如果
will we have a
如果没有继
resurgence
续
of current
采取继续采取这个措施的话，
second wave, but
还会有
it's a
更大的危险的。
continuation of the current wave. We hope that doesn't happen, and
我
that's
们
why
希望这个不会发生，我们也希望把这个曲线一点点的压平。
by those mitigation strategies. The other aspect of a second
另外一个方面呢，就是说，
something that's just the nature of a virus
这就是病毒爆发的本性啊。
and is going to be circulating in other
这也是很快就会这个在全世界传播
which I
啊。
think we will, and I feel certain that we will. then we have to worry about the next season.
同时，我们要担心下一个季节
That's when you
会不会再重新复发呢？
that you have, the interventions that you've developed,
是不是你会有更多的
vaccine that
疫苗呢？
deploy as quickly.
有没有足够的医疗设备呢？对吧？
That's that second wave that really is more seasonal. than
说
the
下一波的爆发
something
更关乎季节性的这个爆发。
And a lot of very positive things are happening.
现在有很多积极的正能量的东西在发生啊，
Drugs of different kinds
比如说我们也在积极的研发各种的药物啊、
are happening. Okay, one more.
疫苗啊。最后一个问题，
Please, go ahead.
So under some of the worst case scenarios,
如果最坏的打算，
problem if you've given out say 7,000 ventilators and you've got 10,000 around. So I'm just curious, who signs off on those life and death decisions before GM?
谁决定能够把联邦这个用于储备的1万个呼吸机分发下去？谁决定这个生死状的一个至关生死的这个决定？
Doing an you know, we have generals that are working that are unbelievable talents, unbelievable leaders, and it'll go through one of 3 or 4 people.
啊，通过 FEMA 就是联邦紧急管理局的这个根据当地的情况来做出的这个决定，大概3到4个人吧。
I appreciate it. I appreciate your interest. I think there is a great interest in
好，
it.
感谢大家问一些这些很有意义的问题啊，明天见。好，今天的直播翻译到这儿，再见。